another LSU Odyssey 2021 profile. I want to talk about Joe Evans. Mean Joe Evans. He was bad. Mean Joe Evans. Baddest mother that Coach Orgeron ever had. Meaner than a 2-ton tiger. Gonna break your face in your jaw. Bum bum. Yeah, Mean Joe Evans, man. He may not get a lot of sacks this year or anything like that from the interior DT, but you may not hear his name a ton, but people who know their football will be watching him and will be going, wow, this guy is creating everything. This guy is starting everything. He's very influential along this D-line. There's a reason Coach Ed Orgeron hails him almost every time. There's a reason that Coach Ed Orgeron constantly sticks by Joe Evans at all costs. He's a big fan of number 94. And the reason is, I'm just going to say it straight up, I think it's because Joe Evans might be the most violent member of this defensive line, and that's saying something when you got Jaquelin Roy, Jacoby Guillory, Mason Smith, and then really experienced guys who know the trenches, know all the moves, know all the dirty tricks that guys will try against them. Glenn Logan, who's going to be out for a bit, but who's really impressing me, Neil Farrell. Neil Farrell Jr. has been kicking ass out there, but we'll get to Neil very soon with his own profile and predictions piece. But with Joe Evans, 94, last year there was a few mistakes to be had. There was some contains broken, some things that, some gaps he could not clog, some run support he could not, he did not have the conditioning for, along with a lot of LSU's players. He was not alone in that. But, what I love about Joe Evans is the way that he just attacks nonstop. And that's the thing, with a almost 8 deep defensive interior group, I think you're going to see Joe Evans be the lead dog, and he's going to come in there and set the tone. And then he's going to probably go out for some reps, get his breath back, come back in, do it again. I think that's what you're going to see, is not only is he going to be like the lead guy, but he'll be rotated in and out to maximize his success. But from what I've seen about Joe Evans, with the film we've gotten, everybody's seen some of it at least. Most Tiger fans all Tiger fans, I should say, can access at least enough film to at least take a peep at Joe Evans. And at least, you can at least back up what I'm about to say. I'm not alone here. I swear I shouldn't be. Peep the film and see what you think. But I feel like Joe Evans is really cut. Like, he's in really good physical condition for this season. He just looks really impressive. What can I say? I'm just really impressed with this guy. I think he might be sticking it out there for maybe a few more downs than I was even thinking a bit ago, just because as much as we're going to rotate guys in and stuff like that, we do want those lead dogs, and he just seems like one. Joe Evans, doesn't he? He just seems like he's going to be that leader of this team, that heartbeat of that D-line, at least one of them. I think you can also say Neil Farrell is positioning himself as one. These two seem to be talked about far more than Jaquelin Roy, which I find stunning. Jaquelin Roy was the guy to watch. 2 sacks in one game against Florida from the interior. Had a big deal, had a lot to do with that victory over number 6 Florida. Caused a ton of havoc. But I don't know, it seems he's kind of fallen off a bit. I don't know if that's true, because from what I've seen, I didn't see anything for the scrimmage, of course. But from what I've seen, he's, of course, we've seen probably about 2-3 minutes of footage from the scrimmage, like everybody has. But from what I can tell, it seems like Neil Farrell and Joseph Evans have positioned themselves as those guys for this defensive interior starting unit. That's not to mean that everybody else is going to get in there and get their time, because they will, and that doesn't mean that the position battle is over. Not even close to that. I just think Joe Evans, Neil Farrell Jr., from what I can see, Coach Orgeron is preferring those guys as his starting DTs, and it just seems like they are setting a tone with their style of play. They're both incredible bruising dudes. They've got a lot of physicality, a lot of intensity. And I think they're going to be some of the most valuable members along this defensive line. And Joseph Evans, Joseph Evans, 2020 was his freshman year, I believe. I'm trying to think. Was Joseph Evans a redshirt freshman in 2019? Was he? I'm trying to think. I don't think so. I feel like Joe Evans was a freshman from 2020. I can't say that 100% for sure. But either way, Joe Evans basically only saw time in 2020. Half a sack, I believe, was his numbers. I think you're going to see that improve. I think he's going to at least pick up 2.5, 3 sacks. Probably 4.5, 5 tackles for loss. 1 or 2 pass deflections. Throwing a forced fumble. I think it's going to be more about the pressures and the stuff that he sets up that stats do not quantify that give him his influence. He's going to be a presence in the run game as well. Great run stuffer. We'll see how he is in the pursuit as well. I think he can definitely improve in the pursuit. Joe Evans can improve in a lot of parts of his game. Don't get me wrong. I love how just because I highlight the positive side of players' games a lot, doesn't mean that there isn't negative parts to their games as well. Parts that they need to improve. Maybe I can improve on highlighting both sides and having them, close to my mind. He has some rough edges to his game, Joe Evans. I've gone through that, but I think he's already worked on that a lot over this offseason. And I think Joe Evans is prepared to have a breakout 2021. Go Tigers.